Can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street. Case on the news.
It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. With a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed the direct hit, I'm sad. Like, who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tennessee Titans. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
First down, Murray. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Pretty good start right off the bat there with throws 1 and 2.
He's not locking in on just one target early, is he? Spreading it around a little bit as this game gets started.
Back-to-back first downs. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Nyheim Hines his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Good. 180. I got him.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. To throw, Mayfield. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Murray now. Already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Olivier Vernon. What a play by him. That's a loss of 17.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
To try again after the sack. Murray. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. They'll get 34 yards there. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh fighting the path to the QB there.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Curtis Samuel, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Mayfield to throw it. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal. Mayfield down. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want that. He's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. 14.
Seahawks 7. Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone, as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Murray. And an alley to run. The escapability in evidence there, as that one good for 15 and a first.
A gain of 15 yards. That's good for a Titans first down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
14. Seahawks 7.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 43-yard line.
So not quite a first down just yet, as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Throwing now is Murray. Dancing to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Forced out to his left. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Curtis Samuel with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the backer. Check 24, check 24. Regular.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he's got room. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Nyheim Hines with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Sanders on for the extra point. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Juju Smith-Schuster, 77 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Steps away to his left. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on 2nd down, Mayfield. The 20.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
They'll run here with Eckler. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Brings up third and 3.
Oh, here we go. Oh. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Focus, defense, focus.
Murray going to try to throw on third down. Murray fighting, lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Sanders' kick is good. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Taken in at the 22. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ndamukong Suh picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
After the sack on first down, Murray. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30.
First and 10.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for first and 10. This is Hines. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Naeem Hines, 40 yards. And the Titans are able to extend their lead.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Ooh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum, filet at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak.
Filet, 10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Buda Baker with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Titans. Austin Eckler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Titans D leads to a touchdown. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
180! 43. Check, 43. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache. Check 26, check 25.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
At the 27-yard line.
Again, it's Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Mayfield. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Fighting through, and he's got space. There he goes left side. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. That'll go down as an 84-yard punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
57, Seahawks 14. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever we... And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 36. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
Brings up 3rd down.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Curtis Samuel there to make the grab. And the Titans capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10. Let's go! At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 2nd and a couple, Mayfield. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. Mayfield looks to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Check, 42.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over first and 10. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Throwing on first down is Murray. Being chased out left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up third and 2.
The Titans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Hey, I'm coming.
3rd and 2, and here's Murray. Got his target, Samuel. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Murray now to throw. And he is going to be run down. What a disaster there. A huge loss. Olivier Vernon able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ndamukong Suh picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun on third down, Murray. Buying time to his left. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th. On now is the Titans punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Titans, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch and you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, Be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, watch out for us. I never switch, I never switch, I never switch.
Since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long, say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my 50. Ex-slick, then hit with the back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole 40 all on the ship. All these 4 things pull out the bip. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Smith.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the road is my home and there's so many milkers burning my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it slow. I'm sturdy as hell, it's a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like think you know what I'm about. I'm not the stereotypes. They do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jobs. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but I'm LeBron. Rings to the team. I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to the well. Not worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart, I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Hand on my heart, no, I give it all I got. Walk the walk.